Hi, I'm KJ, and this is Experience CTN, where we're going to learn more about CTN's volunteers and producers who have supported community media over the past years. I'm here with Carolyn Grawi, the Executive Director for the Ann Arbor Center for Independent Living. Hi, Carolyn. Thanks so much for coming in today.
Hi, KJ. Thank you for having us.
Oh, anytime. All right, so why don't we start off by you telling us a little bit about the Ann Arbor Center for Independent Living.
Well, the Ann Arbor Center for Independent Living has been in the community for a very long time, going back to 1976. And we're an organization that works with and on behalf of people with disabilities towards their successes at home, at school, at work, in the community. We work with children, youth, adults, and seniors, and we look at different ways of incorporating their skill sets and their capacities to meet their maximum potentials.
That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you've been with the center for a while now. How long have you been with the center?
I've worked for the center for 13 years, but I've been associated with the center since 1987.
Yeah, and you've been working with CTN through the center as well, correct?
Yes, I've worked with CTN both through the center and through other projects with the city, and so I've been involved with CTN going back to at least 1990.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What has your experience been like working with CTN?
Well, CTN is fantastic. Everybody's always so welcoming and kind, and the volunteers always want to try to help make things better for the organization as well as the staff. You know, you call in with something that's going on, and CTN's right there getting involved. And so we've been really fortunate to be able to be part of some local things like the soapbox, or, you know, why does community matter, or why does CTN matter, or why do things that are happening, how can you put your voice in for things like the Women's League and voting and things like that. We've also had the great opportunity to work with Mike Koski on the NPO project and be able to have that highlight us, and that was a great piece. Been very fortunate to work with Dana on FYI and have parts of events that we have going on that get filmed and covered, and so that's always been wonderful.
Yeah. So would you say that your experience working with CTN, do you think that that has raised awareness for the Center for Independent Living?
Absolutely, absolutely. Being able to have people in the community catch you for a blink of an eye or for a 5-minute segment here and there is really wonderful, and that helps to have the community stay aware of what's happening. And so I would encourage anybody who has an organization that they want to get information to be known about, CTN's definitely a place to do it.
Right. Would you say that you have a favorite production memory?
Well, it would be wonderful to have all productions be like this. No blurbs that had bleeps that needed to happen because you didn't make any mistakes, because everything was smooth as silk.
Oh, yeah.
So very occasionally you do one taping and everything comes out wonderful.
Yeah, that's always the goal, right? But that does not happen as often as we'd like it to, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it is always really wonderful to be able to have things that get caught on tape so that you have record of that.
Right.
And I think that in that minute segment that you show of us from before being involved, you've got some of those pieces, and so we've worked really hard in the community to make, you know, Ann Arbor CIL be a part of it, and we get to say that happened with the support from CTN, and so it's wonderful to have the partnership.
So would you say that it's worth it for other organizations to get involved with CTN?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a hot commodity that we have right here in our hometown.
Ooh.
And not every community has this, and we're lucky to have it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like it's really great to work with local organizations and spread awareness of everything going on. So
Yes.
we appreciate being here for people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I understand that you have some annual events at the Center for Independent Living.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about those?
Yeah, so we have a couple things that are annual events that are like going to stay on as time-honored events, and then we have lots of other things that relate to that for some programming, so I'll share a little bit of both of those for you. One of the events that we do every year is we have an annual gala, and at that gala it's our community fundraiser, and when we have that event, we're looking to help raise the awareness, raise some dollars to keep making the impact and changes in our community. So for each dollar that is raised, that's allowing more to happen in our community. And then we have awareness raising events like the ADA celebration event that we have each year for the anniversary of the ADA. Now that one is always on the same day, so even if I say the same date, that one's okay to say, which is July 26th. Every year is the anniversary of the ADA, and at that event we try to recognize the impact that people have had in our community because of what's taken place. And when we look at the ADA, there's definitely some pieces of civil rights law that we wouldn't be able to say are there to move us forward without the ADA, so we'd like to celebrate that, and we have the community help us to keep the promise. So again, it's another time that community can come and celebrate with us, and they can also make more donations to keep events going. Other kinds of things that we have is that in October is Disability Awareness and Employment Month, so we usually try to have some employment activities, so you can look at the calendar each year to see what's coming up in that month. As well, throughout the school year, we do disability awareness workshops with fourth graders, and that's really amazing to watch. When you see that light bulb go on for kids who maybe did or did not know about disability, and then they get it. And one of our favorite stories is a young person who was down in Disney World down in Florida. They ran into one of our volunteers and say, hey, Mr. S, do you know what's going on? And he said, no, how would I know you and what's happening? And this little fourth grader was able to share their experiences from their fourth grade classroom here in Ann Arbor to down in Disney, what Disney had going for it and what Disney needed to work on. And it was just so moving to us to see the impact that we could do, that we could bring something from so far away to show that and make improvements in the community. So it was great.
Yeah, that sounds really great.
Yeah. So we do other activities. We have things like Girl Talk, which is a support group for high school teenagers who are just trying to learn about what their disability is and how do they fit in with the community. We have activities like resume writing and employment mock interviewing, and we have activities like Diversibility Theater, and that's a really great thing. It's an opportunity for everybody to be able to take part in theater. Whether you are a person who wants to be right in front of the limelight, like KJ is here, or you're a person who would like to be behind the camera, or a person who might like to write the script, whatever might be the piece of how people might like to be involved. We do lots of activities with looking at what does it mean to be involved in theater. And then also it's a great social networking piece so that people get that support. And
yeah.
So our 5 big things are that we do peer support, and that's another activity where you get that, where people who have some things that are similar to you get to relate to others. And so whether it's something that's disability related or community related, if we can help connect folks to peers, we know that a peer-to-peer model is really a strength and that people can go farther with that. We do a lot of information and referral calls, a lot of skill development for independent living skills and adjustment to disability or changes in disability that happen across the age span. And then we do a lot of advocacy. So a lot of work where we try to help do individual and systems-wide advocacy to make those changes take place. And of course, the last one that's on the list is community transitions, and that's trying to help young people who are leaving high school to be on their own to know what's going on, and also for folks who, whatever reason, may have ended up at an institution and they want to go home, we help them find their way back home.
That's really great.
Thank you.
That sounds like there's so much that you guys do for people.
Yes, we do a lot with people.
Yeah.
Everything that we do is always with and on behalf of.
Right.
We try not to have anybody have to have their way of life determined for them except for by themselves. So we'll help persons work on their own goals.
Yeah.
So we're not here to say what you can or cannot do. We're here to say, oh, that's your goal? Let's see how we can help you to work on that in whichever ways that they would like to travel that path.
Yeah, that's so rewarding for everyone.
Yes, absolutely. When you see those changes, it is really dynamic. It is wonderful to see students be successful in college, or individuals get their first job, or individuals finally have a home of their own, or things like that. Is just really very, very rewarding. It's certainly, working in a nonprofit world as a social worker is not so thick in the pockets,
right?
But it's really thick in the hearts. And so
yeah.
It makes us all feel really great when we're able to be part of those solutions that people find for themselves.
Yeah. So we actually have a little clip that we've put together for the Ann Arbor Center for Independent Living that we'd like to show.
Okay.
So why don't we go ahead and put that on up?
Okay.
This is an organization of doers, not talkers, and that's what I love about CILs.
But for people with disabilities, we are supports, providing hope and assistance with and on behalf of children, youth, and families, seniors, and adults who have experiences where they're trying to adjust to change or work towards their future. So we work towards successes at home, at school, at work, and in the community.
The Ann Arbor CIL is an opportunity to engage with you as the community and the community with you. We invite you to be part of our independent living services, information and referral, peer support, advocacy and community transition, or diverse ability theater, or a youth program. We look forward to seeing you soon. Remember, people with disabilities are just like you, just sometimes we do some things a little bit differently.
All right, so where can people go to learn more about the Center for Independent Living?
Well, we welcome everybody to visit both our website, our Facebook page, our offices. We welcome everybody anytime that they would like to come and interact with us. So the Ann Arbor CIL website is www.annarborcil.org. You can call us ahead if you like at 734-971-0277. And you can visit our offices at the Ann Arbor CIL at 3941 Research Park Drive, Ann Arbor, Michigan 48108. We're off the number 6 bus line.
Cool. So for those who aren't in the Ann Arbor area, how many other facilities are there like this that you know of?
So for ourselves, we have the Ann Arbor CIL, and we also have a Monroe satellite office. And so then we provide services to Washtenaw, Livingston, and Monroe counties. And then throughout the state of Michigan, there are 15 centers for independent living, and throughout the world, there are 600, over 600. And so there's a much wider reach, and that goes back to all the work that started out in Berkeley, California back in 1976.
Wow.
So
That's so great.
yeah.
It's really important to have those resources all over. 'Cause
Absolutely.
I feel like sometimes it's so hard for people to find the kind of help that they need or the motivation that they need in their areas. So
Yeah, so when people are here in Ann Arbor or anywhere in our region, which is Washtenaw, Livingston, Monroe, certainly we're happy to be assistive. But if somebody knows that they're going on vacation or that they're going to be moving or going to college or they want to retire someplace else, we can help connect them someplace through our network to another center for independent living. Most major cities have a center.
that's so helpful.
Yeah.
So do you have any success stories that you'd like to share?
Yeah, we had this really wonderful opportunity that a young person who had never been on a bicycle before had been able to come and participate at the center, and her parents just were really worried and not certain if she was going to be able to do it. And from the moment that she was placed onto this hand cycle, got her helmet strapped in, got herself strapped in with the assistance of staff, she took off to move the hand cycle and to go around the 1 mile circle that we have when we were doing a cycling event. And that was just really wonderful for her to then be able to participate in cycling like all her peers could.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, it really makes a difference when people can be included. Because people with disabilities want to do all the same things as everybody else, and they have lots of abilities to do so, just sometimes we do things a little bit differently. We just can't all be exactly the same, and in fact, if we look across everywhere that we go, we each have unique abilities, and we should be recognizing everybody's uniqueness, and it's a good thing that we're not all the same, because then we get to build on everybody's character and knowledge.
Right.
One of the things that I like to say a lot is we don't need a whole lot of holes, H-O-L-E-S. What we need is a whole lot more of a whole with W-H-O-L-E, and make sure that we include all of us.
Right. So it was really, I was looking through previous interviews that you had done with some of the different people at CTN, and one of the things that stood out to me was the story that you told that someone else was actually going to tell that you were excited about this man who was placed in this business where he caught an error where the computer system didn't.
Right.
And I thought that was just so cool.
Right. So that's actually a great story, and I know it's in one of the, or at least part of it might be in one of the clips. Lieutenant Governor Calley and Justice Richard Bernstein have done quite a bit of work throughout our state on the Michigan Hidden Talent Tours. And so it's a story of a young man who had autism, and he wanted a chance to try to get some work done, and he got an opportunity where he got to sit and do some work, and he was better than the computer at finding mathematical errors, and he saved a company like close to $500,000. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, that's so cool. See, we don't need computers for everything.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Yeah. So is there anything else that you'd like to add today?
I think just that it's just so wonderful to have this opportunity to again share the successes of the center and to be able to share all the work that CTN has done over the years, that we greatly appreciate that partnership and we look forward to it continuing. Anytime that anybody from CTN or from the community would like to be involved with the center, we're happy to partner with you. We want success for everyone.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for future episodes. In the meantime, why not come in and experience all we have to offer for yourself? Visit us online at a2gov.org/CTN, and you can even follow us on Twitter and Facebook at CTN Ann Arbor. I want to thank our crew, Matthew Drake, Gage Shaughnessy, Robert Horn, Lana Hershenson, Kyle Wagner, Aaron Foster, and Alicia May. And I'm your host, KJ Johnson. Thanks again. See you next time.